Hello watch fans, this is Anders here on Watch On channel. Today the review here on my channel of the Baltic MR01, this incredible dress watch that became a huge hit when the French watch manufacturer microbrand Baltic Watches released it. This watch is in such demand that it's actually sold out, and now in June they are having a new production ready, so you can actually go and buy this watch in approximately 2 weeks. I got this in for review. It's a loaner, so it's going back, and I'm very impressed with this watch. I have been wanting to review it for quite some time. So just before we get into the full review of this watch, if you haven't yet subscribed to my channel, please hit the subscribe button. It is a big help. So the Baltic MR01 comes in this nice cork box with this kind of imitated leather, which is not real leather, on the bottom side. And then you open the box here, and inside we find the watch. So this is the Baltic MR01. This is the take on a classic dress watch with a micro rotor. So that's one of the big sensations with this watch. It actually has a movement with a micro rotor. This watch comes in 3 different color variations. You get the blue here, which I have in my hands. Then you get a salmon dial and a gray dial. The watch is priced at 681 euros. Have a look at Baltic's website. I'm leaving a link to Baltic's website down in the description. So nice interior of the box here, you can see. Very classy, very simple, but still very classy. So let's get the watch out of the box and have a closer look. You see, very, very classy looking dress style watch. A very high polished bezel. Very nicely domed hesselite crystal, nice brushing on the sides, and then you have polishing on the top. You also see this nice detail when you look at it from the side, so you get polish on the side of the bezel, and then you actually, with the screwed in case back here, actually also get polishing. So we'll be getting back to the movement just in a few minutes. It is 36 millimeters in diameter from side to side here. From lock to lock it's 44 millimeters. It has a lock width here of 20 millimeters, and the strap, it tapers from 20 down to 16 millimeters. We'll be getting more into the strap just in a few minutes. And then you have a height of only 9.9 millimeters. The dial is this beautiful textured blue dial you see. Here you can see the texture. You have the small seconds between 9 and 6 you see, with the railroad track on the outside. Very simple, small second hand here. And then you got the 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, and then the 9, 10, 11, 12 in high polished applied Breguet-style numerals. Very simple printing with the Baltic name below 12 o'clock. And then on the outside of the dial you have the railroad track with the minute counting and the seconds countings. Again, let's have a look at the bezel here. You see very high polished bezel, flat bezel. And then you have this domed hesselite crystal, so it's not sapphire crystal, it's hesselite, and that is of course because hesselite is the right material to use for a vintage inspired dress watch like this one, and it really has a beautiful distortion. You can also see here from an angle, you can see how beautiful the Breguet style numerals are, really nicely applied to the dial. This watch is incredibly legible because even in lower light situations, because of the high polish of the hands and the numerals, it's very easy to read the time actually. Of course no lume, as this is a dress watch. It is of course made in 316L stainless steel. Here you have the push-pull crown unsigned. And let's talk about the leather strap. This is a Baltic Italian calf leather strap. Very nice Baltic pin buckle here. One star of this watch is of course the dial, but turning over the watch, here comes this beautiful movement. This is not a high-end, very luxurious Swiss or German movement. This is a Chinese Hangzhou movement. This is the Hangzhou caliber 5000A micro rotor high beat movement. So you get 28,800 revolutions per hour, which is 4 Hertz. Then you get approximately 42 hours of power reserve when the movement is fully wound. You see the balance wheel here. You see the beautiful finishing also. This is of course machine finishing. And the blued screws looking beautiful. You see Geneva striping on the micro rotor and the bridges. And then on the underside of the movement, below the micro rotor, you see this beautiful pelage. Really beautifully finished movement, and here you see it is also regulated. I get a deviation of 9 to 13 seconds plus per day, which is perfectly fine at this price point with this movement. I think it's nice accuracy, a lower amplitude, but no beat error, which is a really good thing with no beat error. So I'm pretty impressed with this movement, especially how great it actually looks. So why use a micro rotor? So a micro rotor, apart from looking really great, actually means that you can integrate the rotor, as you can see here, into the movement, which means you can make a thinner watch. It has a water resistance of only 30 meters, which is perfectly normal for a dress style watch like this, but this means you should be very careful actually wearing this watch outside in the rain, or even washing your hands. You should take off the watch. So the strap is very comfortable, very flexible, nice interior, and as I said before, it tapers from 20 down to 16 millimeters. You don't get a lot of holes, so if you have a very small wrist, you will have a problem, and if you have a very big wrist, you will have a problem. But as this watch is only 36 millimeters in diameter, it's definitely not a watch for all wrist sizes. So if you have a very big wrist, it will look extremely small. I was quite curious how it would look on my 17.5 centimeter wrist circumference, but it wears and looks perfect, which I'm going to show you just in a few seconds. So here the MR01 from Baltic Watches in France is on my 17.5 centimeter wrist circumference. On camera it does look a little bit bigger than it actually is, but it wears really nicely. I think it has a lot of wrist presence, and that is of course because of this very flat, very shiny, high polished bezel. It just really makes the watch feel and look a little bit bigger than it actually is. I think it wears perfectly at its size, and it's the perfect choice of size from Baltic Watches. They shouldn't make this watch any bigger. It's the perfect size for a classic dress style watch. And you do get these beautiful leaf style hands and these beautiful Breguet-style numerals. Everything just really gives it the right look. And then with this textured dial, which is actually a really nice contrast to high light situations, it's very legible and easy to read the watch. So overall, I'm very impressed with this watch. Of course, we should also have the weight of this watch because it is a small, very lightweight watch. So let's have a look. So only 42 grams, that's pretty incredible. And it actually feels like almost not wearing a watch. So overall, I think this is a very interesting watch, a really cool dress style watch, and I can definitely understand why these were sold out and sought after very quickly when they released the first batch of these watches. Now in June, they are back, June 2023. So have a look at their website if you're interested in this watch. It is of course a watch that is not a high-end top luxury watch, but it's definitely the watch that gives you the look and the feel, and I think you get a really nice watch for the money. Just be careful, because although I say it's not a fragile watch, you can easily scratch this watch. It has a lot of polished surfaces. Of course, also the crystal being hazelite is very easy to scratch, and you will of course also be able to scratch the backside. And with only 30 meters of water resistance, you should definitely not have this watch anywhere near water. Apart from that, I think the finishing, the overall package is really nice. I hope you enjoyed the review of the Baltic watch. Have a look at their website. If you enjoyed this review, don't forget to give this video a thumbs up, leave a comment down below. Also follow me on Instagram, Facebook, and subscribe to my channel. Thanks a lot for watching. See you next time. Bye.